Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger. And my friends, MultiVersus is now officially in open beta, and LeBron James is now playable. So I figure, since he's the newest character to MultiVersus, I just give you an overview of what the character is capable of. Now, first and foremost, probably not a shock, but his martial art, if you will, is definitely influenced by basketball, to say the least, right? And the basketball is at the core of the character, as in a lot of ways, I guess you could somewhat consider him a stance character, as his moves with the basketball, they're good, but without the basketball, well, they're different, right? So let's talk about it. So first, just the basketball as a mechanic. There's a lot of moves he has that tosses the basketball in a lot of different ways. And when he has the basketball, that influences how many of his regular attacks work. And without it, well, then his moves change. Now, when the basketball is on the fly, you can catch it. Simple enough, right? And if you miss it, it'll go away. And you can either burn your neutral special, which is that cooldown at the bottom here. So you can only do that once per cooldown period. And if you lose it again, well, then it's just not going to let you. But as long as you hit the opponent with any given attack, you will respawn the ball in your hand. So you're not totally just at the mercy of the cooldown, right? You will have to engage a little bit. You have to get at least one hit in, but as long as you get that one hit in, you get your basketball back, and then the fun can begin again. That said, now let's talk about his regular attacks. So his base neutral attack is really good. Why? Because it's armored, and it's a holdable armor attack as well. Not too many armor attacks in the game yet, although as time goes on, we get more characters. It'll be more and more and more, I'm sure. But just the fact he has an armor neutral attack is great. That means he can bully his way through a lot of stuff. That is truly fantastic. For side attack, he just kind of hits you with the ball here, and most side attacks are just kind of self-contained combos. And what's really good is it kind of naturally rises with the enemy here. So just your ability to rise with the enemy is great. Also, the second hit specifically is jump cancelable and dodge cancelable. So whatever gimmicks you can figure out from there, that'll be really handy. Just the first hit and the third hit are not cancelable themselves, but being the second one is, there'll be some tech there for sure. His down attack, and by the way, when you just hold down, he just checks his laces, which I think is pretty good. But his down attack just kind of covers all sides. And when I mean covers all sides, it will hit behind him as well, which is nice and handy. Up attack, well, it's just reaching up for the sky, right? Covers a really good angle above him, very generous, very high up, especially compared to some characters. So just really good to tap people above you. And of course, without the ball, all these change. So neutral attack, well, it's the meme, right? He'll do some expletives here. You can hold it for a bigger expletive, which is a hitbox. That's good. Side attack kind of just makes a swipe here. It is not a natural combo. So the basketball held version of that's kind of better. Down attack just kind of pounds the ground. He's like Goro from King of Fighters. Sadly, can't charge it for like a full screen Quake though. And up attack goes even higher up than the version with the basketball. So here we are with the basketball, and without the basketball, he like really reaches up to deny, right? So just keep that in mind. Some moves are either a little worse off or a little better off depending on what your status of the basketball is. Jump neutral attack, big hitbox, like even his feet count as a hitbox basically. Can hit behind him, just good all around presence. Jump down and attack is just smacking people with the ball is really good. Jump side attack is the big clap you saw from the trailer. And now I messed around with it a bit here, and from the trailer, its hitbox has definitely been reduced. Because before in the trailer, you did not even need to be near the enemy to hit. Now you do. And jump up attack is literally just putting the ball in the net. Now, without the basketball, things change yet again here. Jump neutral attack here, he's just kind of pounding his chest. We have jump side attack, and that's just kind of reaching out again. Once again, some of these not as good with the basketball. Jump down attack, he's swatting, and jump up attack, he's also just going for, like before on the ground here, kind of that denied swipe the ball motion. Now, his specials. So neutral special. Neutral special tosses the ball, as long as you have the ball. And the ball will bounce off the enemy, and as long as you touch the ball, it returns to you, right? Now, depending on how close you are to the enemy, it's actually very easy to get the ball to return to you. And you just kind of keep doing it over and over and over and build up respectable enough damage. Jump side special. Now, this is the big dunk. And not only is it the big dunk that we saw in the trailers, it causes like a shockwave. And if the shockwave hits versus just the basic attack here, the base attack's actually worse. You want to hit with the shockwave, because not only does the shockwave do more damage, it applies maximum 5 stacks of weakened. Like, that's not insignificant. That's a pretty decent debuff. Now, here's the thing. You might notice here, well, my ball's gone, right? So doing the big dunk does destroy the basketball. So you have to commit to the attack. It's a powerful attack for sure. You get max debuff stacks on the dude, right? But you will have to either burn your cooldown to get the ball back, or just hit the enemy to get the ball back after the fact. Down and special, well, it just dunks the ball, but just downwards, right? So it's kind of like a projectile shield almost in a way. So that's kind of interesting. And up and special, well, it's the old alley-oop. It's going for the three-pointer, right? So the angle is, very high up, but still covers space projectile. Now, here's another thing, too, about ball tosses. Another thing real quick about ball tosses, especially the neutral ones specifically, depending on what direction you're holding, you can actually angle the shot somewhat. So if you're holding like down forward while doing it, you'll just bounce it off the ground. Whereas if you're holding up forward, it'll be kind of like a higher angle shot, or forward just more straight. So you do have some say over the angle of the shot, so keep that in mind. Air special is kind of the same here, just like jump air special tosses the ball, jump side special is the dunk again, jump down special also just kind of tossing the ball, although versus the grounded version, you actually get this net effect. You're getting the slam dunk, which I'm a fan of, and jump up special, just tossing the ball. Now, as you can see, I just tossed it clear off the screen, right? So if you're going to go for this, unless it's like specifically, you're going for the extra height off the recovery, keep in mind you're only going to hit people way above you. Now, grounded specials, neutral special just gives you the ball back. Side special is a big shoulder charge. Now, despite its appearance, it is not armored, but still, it's there. Down special, he's just kind of guarding. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. It actually destroys projectiles. And not only does it destroy projectiles, it will give you your ball back if you don't have the ball in hand. And obviously, if you're doing the move, you can't have the ball, right? So it's just a big defensive wall. It'll eat up all projectiles along the way. So if, someone's like spamming batarangs or Rhine dogs, just spamming projectiles here, like it's a good way to say, nah, I'm not dealing with it at all. Just wait out and you get your ball back. Pretty handy. Without the ball, up special is a big chalk explosion and just serves about what you would expect for the move. And for the air versions, much the same here. Side special is the shoulder. Up special is just kind of an up clap. Down is just the aerial version of the defensive wall here. Once again, destroys all projectiles. So yeah, the fact that he has multiple moves based on just what his situation is with the ball, I think is really cool. Also, his major traits influence his game pretty decently. So for the first one here, for 3, going for the 3-point shot, right? Now, here's the thing. If you hit the enemy with the ball from far away, the ball just explodes. So normally if you hit him somewhat close up here, he'll get a little bit of damage, sure. But the further out, you just lose the ball and it just does a giant chunk of damage straight up. So it becomes a much stronger projectile at a range. The second one's called Keep Possession, and whenever he gets the ball back, or your partner gets the ball, because your partner can pick it up, he basically gets an overshield. He'll get gray health. And this basically, it ups your effective life total, right? So that's handy. And especially because the partner can pick up the ball as well, they get it. That also helps your partner. Now, unfortunately, last one might be bugged, at least in my testing. If you do a no-look past your ally, it's supposed to set the ball on fire when they pass it back to you, but it currently does not do that, at least based off the wording of how it's supposed to work. So who knows? But I get a feeling this is supposed to be like the he's on fire NBA Jam style of dunk. So hopefully that starts working soon. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty impressed with him. Considering how I would assume inherently popular LeBron is just as a person and probably will be in the game, the fact that he's like a semi-stance character with like, a mechanic of having to govern the ball at all times makes him a bit more complex than a lot of the other characters. So I'm just a fan. I like it. And anyone with armor, anyone with the ability to bully people with armor, I'm always a big fan of in any game, right? So I like that too. But yeah, so overall, my initial impressions of LeBron in the game as a character, thumbs up. I like it. And looking forward to see how they introduce a lot of the other characters later on throughout the course of this open beta and to the proper launch and beyond. So that all said, that's the video, my friends. We're at the end. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some MultiVersus.
This is the love we